You're welcome to Amebo FC, and I'm your host, E.N.E.C.Y. Today we'll be having a guest. He's a father of 2 kids, and we'll be discussing parenthood in the UK and how you can train your kids and ensure that you still follow the guideline in the UK. And also, we're also going to ask if he prefers to be loved or to be feared. Get ready for an interesting show. Good afternoon. You're welcome, sir. I would like you to introduce yourself, please.
My name is Somi Obishesa.
Perfect. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the show. Today we're discussing parenthood in the UK, and if you think sparing the rod can help mold a perfect child to a young adult. So that's what we're just discussing today.
All right.
So first off, how I know that you didn't give birth to your first kid in the UK.
Yes.
So I would like you to tell me the difference between training a kid in the UK and out of the UK in Nigeria.
Well, training a child in Nigeria, back home Nigeria, that's where you can always start from, and because that's where our foundation comes from. We were born, raised by parents that believes in spare the rod and spoil the child. That is, they use the rod so well on us, and we are the product of that.
Yeah.
Being beaten or being chastised for, I don't want to use the word beating, because being chastised for what we might have done wrong, and in light of correcting us, that's the way they always want to do it. I'm a living testimony of such. Yeah, I understand. You know that I am that stubborn, but I realize that you can as well talk to me. But more importantly, they believe that one will remind you of what you need to do. But apparently, you remember that they keep on beating you and beating you for the same issue. Yeah. So that's where you need to question it. Is the beating really worth it?
Okay. So what I really want to understand is, when you were in Nigeria and now in the UK, are you using the same tactics in bringing up your children, or are you focusing on the tactics you use in Nigeria, or is something different?
Yeah, now you need to strike balance now. We were not brought up here, and the culture we met here says you don't even have to beat any child. You can imagine if 10-year-old telling you that she or he has capacity, so you can't even beat. That is what is in quote here. But thank God, my first child, I brought her from Nigeria to this place. She's used to being chastised. I don't want to use the word beating now. From back home here, when anything happens and when she does anything wrong, she's packed on the bumps. She understand. You can tell her, give her some punishment, kneel down, raise up your hand. She understand. You can face the dismal corner and things like that, and it works. It works magic. It works magic for us. And so anytime we want to do that such thing, the baby remembers. So coming here, I just switch from beating to talking. However, she's expecting me to beat because she's used to. And the word spare the rod and spoil the child still rings in my head. You practically, because she don't be any mark on the baby and understand. But unconsciously, some of us, we might have even want to beat people. And that's not to stop it. But the consciousness that we need to just let them know what they have done from beating. Back then, my dad, we always tell me, he will beat just 4 strokes, but I can take that 4 strokes for 1 hour. He will give you 1 and drop the cane and explain what you have done and why he shouldn't do this. So it takes a longer time. So if I see me crying, then I wasn't crying for that cane. It's taking too long. And he's really trying to tell me that. So anytime I'm going to that line, I will remember that I'm going to be talked to, and I'm going to waste my time on that. And it's a punishment, and which I really love so much. So, but that shows that he understands that you need to tell a child what he has done before even beating him. That is, if you need to beat at all. So the question is, if you have told your child not to do this, and if you're not doing that, do you still need to beat? So here in UK, I think we may not 100% change, because even the whites are getting it now, that we are losing our children. They are losing their children. We are really losing them. So what is the essence of having an 18-year-old child? And you can imagine, when in Nigeria, I never leave my father's house at 18, not even in 20, not even in 25. She understands, because when I go to institution, I still return back to that place. Even when, most of us, when we want to, it is when we want to get married that we are setting out.
We are thinking of going out.
So when you know that you have nothing to benefit from that child at 18. So that is why most of them don't even have reasons for having the children. They now have pets, which will stay with them till they die. They be responsible and things like that. They are training some pets reasonably and more, in fact, more disciplined than the children here.
Okay.
So it's not even something that is even worth it for them here. So. Okay. If you ask,
Okay. When your kid does something out of character, and you have a boy, you have a girl. Now the girl is the eldest. At what age do you think you can stop using the rod?
Wow. Well, I will say, as long as back home, as long as any child is under your roof, is still eligible to beating, provided you do anything wrong. That is back home.
For what you just said now, let me widen the question.
Okay.
When you were growing up, at what age did your parents spare the rod?
Yeah, I have beatings from both parents. Shasta for mom and my dad. I stopped my mom's first before my dad.
You stopped it?
I stopped. I stopped my mom because I told her she's using one method. I've said, hello, mommy, I've wronged her. Take that shoe into my room. And obviously she's used to that taxes. And when I take it to the room, she closes the door and she starts beating me with everything. But at a point in time, she asked me to take it. I just said, I should take it in, right? I took it in. When she came in, I said, I now realize that I'm not the only one being beaten now. If you beat me, you too, you feel the pain here.
Yeah.
So why not talk to me and we talk it out? And she's like, I think I was around 19 years or thereabout then. And I told her, you don't need to beat me because I love you. I just want you to be more healthy than beating me. Because at the end of the day, you use that rod, I will feel it, but you have applied some force from here. So she now said, so she burst into laugh and said, I see you this boy. But she now turned out to go and team up with my dad. So anytime I'm being offended, I offend them. She will sit on a double chair. And when my dad is about beating me, she will be one reminding my dad of the past things that I've done that deserve to be beaten. And you understand, if he's trying to beat me too,
he will give you 4.
So, and along the line, I think my dad now realized too that practically doesn't work. And as a matter of fact, it is when you are displaying wisdom, then your parents will realize. And wisdom approach, it depends on the age. Some people can be as old as 25 and you still see that they are not amounting to anything. And you can see a 14-year-old girl or a old boy that has outgrown beating because of the way he raises. Why will you beat a child if he's not doing anything wrong?
Nobody just raises.
Nobody just raises hands, you understand? So at the point, my parents is beating me. I think just like I'd rather talk to you. I'd rather do this. And
What about yelling? Just shouting, shouting, shouting.
look at the way we are talking now. If any white is going around, you think we are fighting each other. This is our nature. So yelling is just part of us. It's the name beauty is inherent. So it's an unconscious thing. Even here, you thank God we have padded homes. Should all these homes in this UK be loose that way, many parents
You'll be in trouble.
they'll be in trouble. At work, when you are conversing with your colleague at times, you're like, can you please bring down your voice? And you are just doing your thing. So yelling is, in fact, it's just it's just a little more increase in your volume, and you are there already. So yelling, sincerely, it's more demoralizing, if you ask me,
Than beating.
than beating. Yelling kills our self-esteem. Yelling and keeping child down, not allowing them to express themselves. Even you've done this thing wrong, allow the child to express. So it's really, really dealing with our children that came back from to this place, because we tell them, even you don't talk to them, keep quiet,
And they can't express
and they
themselves.
can't express themselves. So when they get out there, even in their schools, when they see people, it now turns as if they are being infuriated. She understand. It makes one look, makes you look inferior. So I think yelling is not for me. I don't even appreciate it when people yell at one another. So you can always speak. When I'm not an animal, you can speak to me and I can speak to you. Understand? Ask me, how many yellings have really changed things? Have you not yelled for the same thing over and over? Just like beating in Nigeria. At the point, I have a friend. I used to have a friend. We share the same in this flat, but we play together. So we always have a uniform offense, as in we share the same, but we have different parents. So our parent deals with us differently. The way his father will not even explain to him. He will beat him everywhere. And he will tell him to go and form a hack and hold a pen. And he will be beating him right there. Do you know that at a point in time, he asked that boy to go and do that. He did it. He held the pen. He beat him. Now said, stand up. The guy had formed hack. He couldn't go back again. He just stood up that way. It's not that he was crying, but he was just laughing and held up there. As a matter of fact, the beating only turned him to be someone else out there in the community.
Wow.
So for me, beating has done a whole lot of wrong. If you didn't communicate what that child has really done, it's the same him, the same me, the same offense, but different way of outcome. My parents will tell me, you will give me just 4 or 3 strokes, but for one eye, will telling me this is what you have done. That is not stopping me from not doing it, but at the same time, it's really copying. But I just think all these parents would have done things differently then. It should have been fine. But the scripture says, spare the rod
And spoil the child. Okay. This is something that parents tend to forget. They tend to not focus mainly on it. It's do you want your child to love you or fear you?
It's much as people really, really separate it, I don't love separating it. Because if you love someone, you will fear not doing things contrary to the will of that person.
Sometimes it's not the same way. Let's use God for example.
Okay.
Everybody loves God because He's good, He's kind, and all that.
Yes.
But not everybody fear Him. Because if you fear Him, you keep His word.
His commandments, you keep His word.
You keep it. Do you understand?
Yes.
You keep it. But the way we are right now is because of mercy. We only love Him. That's why you see when people are worshiping, they are in tears because it's the love they have for Him. They know that they've wronged Him. But you see, fear is like trauma. Before you do it, something rings in your head that if you do this thing, I'm in trouble. Do you understand? That is fear. And most relationships lack fear. it's between like husband and wife.
Familiarity.
The familiarity.
Yeah, just to use each other.
So there's no fear anymore.
Yeah.
It's just love. Because you can still break boundaries because of love. Everybody loves their parents. But the parents say, do not do this. You still do it. It's because you love your parent too. You don't want, not wanting them to find out is love. Not fear. It's love. Not wanting them to find out is love.
Okay.
Fear is not doing it.
Okay.
So that's why I said sometimes it is not, you cannot put two of them together. Because if I fear you, I would not want to offend you. If I love you, I would not want you to know my offense.
If you love me, you don't want to offend me too.
No. So this is the thing. You love yourself, right?
Absolutely.
But there are some things you still do that is harmful for your body. But because you love doing that thing, you will say,
I'll still find
around.
My body even should understand.
Your body should understand. But do you understand? But you love yourself.
Yeah.
See, but if you see a knife and they say stab yourself, you will not. Why do you think you will not do it? You fear the knife. You are scared of what that knife.
You don't fear you not being hurt. Yourself. It's not even dangerous to know that you want to hurt yourself.
You want yourself. Do you understand? Yes. So that is fear.
And that is the way we should be thinking. We are just separating it. In fairness, we are just separating it. If you love someone, you will fear that person. Fear in that context is this. As much as you can hurt yourself, you won't hurt someone else. She understand? Familiarity is fine. Familiarity is what, in fact, the only reason why you think we love God is because, and that message you just mentioned, is for everybody.
Yeah.
She understand? Have you ever seen a difference? This is, if rain is falling now, it falls on both the good and the bad. If breeze is coming, it's coming on both the good and the bad. Those are the normal things. So some of us, we are living in the consciousness of these things are the norms. But if you really, really love someone, if you love that person, you will keep the commandment. You will fear that person, and that person fears you in return. It's just vice versa. God is not set to hurt us.
So let's make this broad.
Good.
Love is, there are different kind of love. There's the agape, the other ones.
The urgent 2K love, as in.
Do you understand? Now, your best friend. You love your best friend. You love him. But I'm not sure you can use the word you fear your best friend.
Yeah, you're right, because we are not used to using that kind of word.
Okay, but that's why I'm trying to simplify the question. So, because I understand where you're coming from, saying both can go hand in hand. Yes, both can go hand in hand.
I have a friend. I told him, the family, my daughter will be having his birthday, her birthday. You should be around. And they look at their schedule, they said, there's no way they are going to make it. And I held it to myself. And I kept on, I said, all right. And I was really, really expecting it, because they are just my best friend. They are supposed to be. But for one reason or another, they couldn't come. Now, I wasn't happy in my heart. But on that birthday, I just saw them, the whole family, coming. Something played out there. There is love, and it's born out of, I should not hurt this person. It's a fear. I am on the receiver side. I felt so, as a matter of fact, I was discussing with someone.
But sir, that fear? I should not hurt the person. Is that fear?
It's fear born out of love, my dear brother.
Okay, maybe I am not describing the fear.
Okay, that you really want.
The fear I'm trying to say. The fear is you cannot
hostile to someone.
You cannot think about the effect. In fact, because of the effect of that thing, you cannot do it. Like if you noticed in the Old Testament, right? That was when people feared God.
Yes.
Do you understand? The moment something before they do it. In fact, they don't want to do it because I am scared of the wrath, like the effect of what is going to happen from God. That thing is what fear is. Jonas, that thing is fear. Yes, you can still, they loved God, but they still feared him. That spirit of fear is not in us now.
It will shock you. I've not been there, but as we are talking now, I imagine that. Do you know that in that Old Testament, where fear lies, anyone that's scaled through to fear and to love God there, you understand, it's worth more than 1 million in people that may abuse grace in the New Testament.
Definitely.
So
now we're on the same point.
Yes, invariably we may not even see much candidates in the New Testament, even the Old Testament that people really fear God.
Thank you. now we are now on the same page. So that's what I'm saying. In relationships nowadays, what we have dominant is fear, is love. Now, the part of I do not want him to find out is not fear anymore. It's not fear, because fear will not allow you to do it.
Sure.
I do not want him to find out. It's still love. It's like this. If your dad says don't go and play ball, and you go and play ball,
you love ball. You
love ball. At that moment, you have chose ball over your father.
Yes, and
when you finish playing, the next thing you start doing cover up.
Yes,
because
the consequence of him. He said no, but you have satisfied your conscience by doing it.
Do you understand? But there are some things, and you know that it will beat you. But there are some things, you know, if you do, you are a gunner.
Yeah.
There are some things that, you know, if you do this one, in fact, that is the fear. You know that this one, I have to fear my father because of this one. Do you understand? There's some things that you will still do. You say, may you not find out. But there's some things if you do, if you know that your father will hear, it's not beating that you will get. You are dead.
I get you now. So that's the question that is that will I love?
Now, do you want your child to love you? Now, loving you now is they can still misbehave and try and cover you up so you don't find out. Or you want them to fear you, not even having the ability to think of misbehaving.
Actually, I understand that question very well, and I just want maybe the viewers to really understand where we are going. That's why I'm putting that.
Okay.
Now, tell me, most parents that their children fear, you hardly see them. Well, most good percentage of those children, if they eat to that fear and they stand very well, they turn out to be someone good, but they never forgive their parents. They never bond.
Yeah.
She understand. They throw trash at such parent that is still hostile, is still dead. And the funniest part is that there is no how that the man will not reincarnate one out of them. The one that they dislike the father most takes that character.
Yeah. That's the funny.
So, for me, I don't like that. I love my children to fear me, that to love me, and when they love me, they will be free to tell me the weirdest thing. But they will come. They will tell me that I have done this and that, and I'll tell, okay, you don't need to do this. This is how it's supposed to go. And for me, I choose love over fear.
So you now before we go into your answer, we know that our fathers were scared of their parents. They didn't love their parents. They were scared.
Yeah.
They had fear.
Yes.
So before
even our mothers, they fear their husbands.
They fear their husbands. Yes. And that's not something we have now.
No. Predominantly then, fathers. When they say father, they are all called Lord. After God is the father. She understand? Because they are the sole provider of everything. They go out there. They don't need to love. When your father is coming, probably he's using a car. You hear the horn.
You will comport yourself.
Every place must be everybody. Even your mother will join you to clear the place because when he finds out you're in trouble. She understand?
True.
He's the sole provider. Every needs, even the mothers need everything. So who dare look at? You're not doing anything. I'm taking total responsibility and you want to misbehave. It won't work.
Okay. I see where you're coming from now. Because now we now have shared responsibilities.
We now have shared responsibilities. So the area that the father needs to carry all his head and understand, someone has softened it.
Soften it.
Some mothers now say they are the one that are
the father.
That are the father. They are the one that the children are afraid of. Even the fathers are afraid of them.
Mother, yeah.
So it's the fear is born from the angle of responsibility, and that's why I'm telling you, God is so lenient. It's someone we should fear more, because He's the sole provider of everything to us. But because of my mercies, my grace is sufficient for you. You understand? And that is where the sharing pattern comes in.
Good. Thank you. Now, before I go to your question, your answer, where you said you want your kids to love you than fear you. In relationship, husband and wife,
Yeah.
will you say it's needed to love and fear?
With the context of the fear you are talking of, it's not needed in marriage. It's better with the love.
Just the love.
Yes.
That means your spouse can do something that you would dislike.
Both of us do things that we would dislike and we reconcile.
And you
Nobody's
reconcile.
perfect.
Nobody's
She
perfect.
understand. So there is no how. Even then, we are saying that men are the sole responsible. Understand? They don't look. In fact, the fear will not even make you to know that the man is doing something evil.
Yes.
That fear will not.
So-
You will not even look at him. And they commit a lot of atrocities. They bring in second wife, third wives, and they are still bold enough. And the wife dare not
Say anything.
do that or say anything. All these things are abnormality. But now, 50-50, and I'm bringing someone. What kind of fear is that? You understand? So, even at not 50-50 now, we are talking about love now. It is now we now understand that even if a woman is not bringing in money monetarily, what she does at home, taking care of the children, is that what more than the money you are talking about? So it's still even a fair share of saying. So we are not talking about money now. We are talking about adding up all responsibilities at home. She understand, and finding the mean, looking at taking responsibilities.
Perfect.
It gives you make you
Perfect. Now, you said something about you answered that you wanted your child to love you than fear you. But you know, there's this thing that parents will do. They say, my child can never do this thing. Not because your child cannot do it, but because you know your child, as we say in PG, they're not born and where to do it. That word, they're not born and where to do that. Do you think it's love or is it fear of you?
It's not the fear of me. Anything your child do or does outside there is a product of either you or the wife. Most times we don't take that blame on ourselves. That's why we use that to chastise or to see that they're not born aware. If you see they're not born aware, ask yourself, have you done it before? So we are product of what our children are product of what we give out to them.
And funny enough, they don't learn by hearing.
They don't learn by hearing, they learn by seeing what they see, and they see mostly with their parents. So when you choose your child doing this, there are some things where I say that my daughter dare not because I know she cannot.
She cannot.
It's not because I've beaten her or I've instilled fear on her, but
Because you know that there are
this is not a trait. This is not who we are.
This is not what I do.
This is not what I do. I've been to her school several. She just came and said that something like this happened. I said okay, and I walked up to the teacher, and all she told me was what the teacher said, without saying that. He said, this is what happened, blah blah blah, and I know her. That's this and that, and that was the reason why I went with her in the first place. Should have done something otherwise, or tell me what I know that ordinarily my daughter will do. I will just, even when she's telling me that the person is wrong, but I know as let me born you.
I know what you feel do.
I know. So these are the things. So if you are saying that they're not born and well, it's because they're not born me well. I know they're not born and well like that. So it's always born from that angle. At the end of the day, that doesn't stop us from bonding. My child, you are talking on now. She understand, and that's me. So when I look at myself like this, I didn't fall down from the sky. I always have a lineage. I have a trait. Just trace it back. You will surely find it.
You'll surely find it.
You'll find it there.
Perfect. Now, you just said something about going through your lineage to understand children. For a male child and a female child, which do you think should have a more stricter parenting?
Both.
Explain.
Thank you. I see us concentrating and Do you know that all these questions are born from the fact that we see some people maybe now later they misbehave in their marriages, ladies are vulnerable, guys, and the funniest part that we look away, we believe that guys are guys, ladies are just like now I have a girl beginning to be looking at it, you quickly calculate by 24, 23 this girl must get married. That consciousness has been on the mother's head since when she was 5 or 10, going just the kind of friends she keeps and look away from the kind of guy
she's keeping,
the boy is keeping. You are looking at your child against some guys. What about your guy against some girls? So for me, I think, or I believe, I'm not thinking now, they are my children. They should be given, there are rules, there are lanes. This is a lady, this is a guy. When they are growing up, definitely something separates them, separate their rooms, because they cannot no longer stay together again. This is a guy, this is a girl. Definitely whatever a girl needs to know, the guy you need to give. Whatever a guy needs to, you give it. So you don't say that one is this, one is that.
You just said whatever a guy needs to know, you give it to him, and whatever a lady needs to know, you give it to her. That means there are different kind of parenting for the male child, different parenting for the female child.
You won't do, manners are equal. You understand? Okay. Characters, how to behave outside, how to do everything, they are very
talking about manners, right? We teach our ladies to be calmer so that they don't seem too aggressive. And we teach our guys to be a little bit more aggressive so they won't be too calm for the society. That's what I'm trying to explain. Because if you say you're going to train your child both the same, like the same manners, it's not the same way. Because if you're training your son, you tell him to always maintain eye contact, so he doesn't look like a baller. When you're talking to him like this, no, always maintain eye contact. I'm not sure you train your lady to always maintain eye contact.
No, she must maintain eye contact. In this place we are now, she must maintain eye contact.
Okay, she must
Complex is a very dangerous thing. That's why you should not give it that. She should be able to express herself. We have Kemi. If she's not looking at eye contact, how many Kemi are here sitting in the Prime Minister's seat here? So if she's looking at, she should be able to ask questions. She should be able to project out. She understands. She should be able to face things are happening here. Ladies are bullying ladies too. So do you now head down? Well, just to buttress what you're saying, we are still discussing some things 3 days ago. One of my favorite son here, it's one of my uncle's son like that, but I love this guy very well. Only for me to hear that he entered a bus from a school and guys were just dragging him, and ordinarily this guy is not a soft guy like that. But because of the country we are, they are the whites. They are school guys, and when we were saying, one of the guys just said, this guy needs to go for to be trained how to defend himself, for self-defense. And I said, don't you think ladies too need this? I said, yes, of course. Why not? Because we are giving an example of what we've seen. What about the way they are bullying the ladies? She understands. Self-defense. Now, I'm not saying that person should fight or do anything,
but he should be able to defend himself.
One of the defense that I'm putting across is that you must have a reporting skill, a proper one. You must be detailed at reporting and the way it's were. She understand, because psychologically every teacher or anybody you are reporting to knows if you are saying right or wrong. You don't want to be biased.
It's the way you want to say it.
She understand. So that's one of the defense you are talking of. You should put it up to a lady. I will never train my girl to look down when others are looking at. Do you know that here? The first thing you do is that we say, what is 1 + 1? Use confidence to say 3, even we don't know it. And process someone that will say 3, look at, why are you saying 3? Do I say 3? Now 2. You may not get it, but get it. 1 + 1. They've moved on. So we want to teach every child to be alert. You understand? To be self-reliant, to be self-confident, and I will never tell my daughter to look down when my son look up. No, they must have the understanding that bills are looking up to everybody.
Bills are looking up.
Bills are looking
up.
Don't
look down.
Don't look down. So look up. Look up. So I always want them to be.
Okay. Now, At what age can your daughter come and meet you and say that they have a boyfriend?
Wow.
So think about that question. Think about your wife. Because if you're accepting an age, your wife should be able to accept that age. So think about your wife and think about at what age will your wife be okay for your daughter to come and meet you and say, Daddy, I have a boyfriend. Or okay to start talking to boys in that way.
Well, I've asked myself, sincerely, I've asked myself that question. And I asked myself in line with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's now my wife really understands that she's her best friend. That's her daughter. Talk into that. And she quickly did that because she noticed that girl is my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
She understand. So, and at the point in time I was saying when she was growing up that this lady would rather tell me something earlier than the mother. So, but now the thing has changed because I knew I've overheard them discussing some things which I have not been privy to ask her before or no. She understand. But I don't like people disappointing me or people surprising me. She understand. No, I love people surprising me.
But don't disappoint.
I don't like the disappointment.
So what do you mean by surprise and what do you mean by disappoint?
It's just that when I say I borrow you something and you're telling me that I'll give you next week, in my mind I'll put 1 month. So that when you now tell me next week that please possible next week. She understand. By the time you bring it half the month and I'm expecting a full month, I will appreciate it. I'll still be a surprise to me. Now you go there disappointed, say, I'm fuck up. But for me, that's the way. So the same thing in my child's own. When I saw her going, I put in my mind that anytime soon, if not a boyfriend, you understand, a consciousness of being a lady, being a girl, and looking at a guy and say hi. Some guys came to this place one day like that, and they were like, "Can we help you with your garden?" Young guys, they want to do some NGO stuff like that. Well, they were white and they understand this. I didn't understand what they were saying so friendly, but if you see the distance my daughter was, I should tell her, "This is what I mean." I said, "Is that what they mean?" Okay. I hear you. She understands.
So you are looking at them.
You understand? By the time these guys are just 8, 9 years and they're about Princeton, and she was the one that quickly opened that. This is what I mean. That I understand. Okay. For me, I just go to my mathematics, my table says, boy, get you understand? 1 or 2. You understand? So if she's thinking 15, I'll be 2 years ahead of her. I will be thinking my mind will be 13. She understand. If she's thinking 20, I will be thinking 17. She understand. So she cannot disappoint me at any point in time. So if you tell me at what age, I will ask myself, how fast have I exposed her? What is the quality of the exposure that she has? She understand. What's she watching on TV? What's she doing with her tab? She understand. If you give some children at age 6 your device, do this, and that, you'll be shocked.
How you can do
what they do. The place of music on the TV and
they pick it up
without mixing words, even the slow pattern. Even me, I don't know. You understand? You just look away and unconscious.
Well, you mark it down.
You know mark out because at 26 I never knew that height. I don't have anything in my mind, but the quality of exposure that you have given to a child, you should be expecting more. I should be expecting things to turn out early. When children were coming up back then, before you can see the eyes of a new baby, maybe 7th day.
But now they open their eye and come in.
Inside the blood.
They come.
They
look at everybody.
They look at you. They make choices. You'll be told here that children start learning from 2 months. You'll be hearing they start picking their morals. That's what the terrorists are. So you should not be surprised at any age. Your children are going to mix school. She understand. Apparently, I can't say this is who my first girlfriend is, if not back then in primary school and nursery school. Yeah, she understand. The only thing is that maybe immorality is what they are now calling to be relationship.
But you know when
now.
you were growing up,
you know when
there
you
was
started,
someone that you
know
like,
that someone you understand,
and you always want to sit close to the
sit
person.
close to the person. You share your snacks.
Your snacks.
You understand.
Any other person, you
Any
might not
other
give this
person doesn't matter.
But when you say I want to give to this person,
Yes, even some of your mates will say that he's not going to give you. This is the person he's going to give because they know that there's a tie between them. You understand? So in that context, what do you now call relationship? When do you call the boyfriend and girlfriend? When did it start?
that means it has started. Even for us, it started when we were little.
When we were little, we should just be conscious of when.
But we are scared because of the immorality.
You dare not even. Yes.
You can't tell your
You
father.
can't tell them. You understand?
It's only your mother that knows that there's somebody in your class that you like, that you
Yes.
share food with.
Yes, that's why you see parents tagging ladies' virginity with more a price and tell that if you keep yourself, it is so time. I'm going to do this. Don't disappoint me. But that is what some people coin to be that relationship. But no, some of them have started earlier than that. So you never can tell. Who are your friends? This is my friend. Do you have a boy as a friend? Boyfriend? Yes, I have this guy is my friend. We do this. And do you want your daughter to go out with your enemy?
Good question.
So apparently, the mother can have that challenge, but my heart is opened. But show me your friend, I will tell you who you are.
Okay. But what I'm saying now is, at the back of your mind, when you've looked at the progression of your daughter, at what age have you put in back of your mind to say, this is when I can take it?
If I'm in Nigeria, I may not take it 18. I may not. Because there is no structure in that country. Evil communication can easily corrupt good manners.
Yeah.
That's where that Bible capacity is like, you that stand, take it, lest you fall.
Yeah.
It can happen in Nigeria. You can never say that this is your moral standard, even for a gentleman. But here, in fairness, she told me that I'll get married at 25. Either consciously or unconsciously, I have registered it in my mind.
You heard it left hand.
I've heard it later. And it's now the onions of me as a parent to make sure that she keep her morals. She keep everything. You know the kind of friends she's going out with. So until then, in my mind, 25 is too much.
Because
22,
I am looking at the reason I'm asking you that question is because I have a friend, his daughter is 15. He called me. I think he's in London or Lincoln or Luton or something. And I see Ava. I say, bros, I do. I beg, no vex. If your daughter don't reach 15, she fit come out go with boy. I can't say wait to your daughter won't. Answer me first. I say, boss, it all depends on you. It's okay, call. I said, he dropped the call. He didn't really cut the call.
That's the love we have for her.
So, and it struck me like, this girl is 15. This girl is big. If you don't even know, you think she's 22. She's big. And I have a daughter also. And I thought about that. And I looked at my daughter. She was just watching something on her time. I was looking at her. She doesn't know what I was, like, she didn't really understand why I was looking at her. But I was processing something in my head, like, okay, this girl now be 15. Will now come say that I'm going on a date. Okay. So
you just allow them to define it. See, the man saw the ladies of age. You can imagine a child you are beating from young, and all of a sudden you can't even move to a room.
Yeah.
You can't understand. Definitely she need that privacy. The privacy you kept from me. You are now giving that privacy. She understand. When I'm even holding you, it's not because I have to marry you by myself, but at least hold on We have seen a lot. So we always unconsciously want the best for our children. So I won't fault him. It's a very nice outburst. She understand, but he can do it in a different way. But that is not me. I'm not, and that may be the only language the girl understands. My own parents will always tell us, he will never want you to have a friend behind the fence. Bring that friend inside.
Yeah.
If you are sat down with this guy that the lady is going out with, 1, 2, 3, let it be a friend.
That's what I'm still going there.
Let it be a
so,
friend of
So
the
before
family.
we get there, I just want you to answer that question. What age do you think she can have a boyfriend, and what age can she start going out?
I will always tell you that it happens to be the number of exposure I've given to her.
So you
I've
cannot
told you.
quantify
I
or give
cannot quantify it. Now she goes to a birthday. I take her to a birthday of her friends. We went to a park. She said she can come back by herself. She's 10 years old and she goes to school by herself. She can get the bus and come back herself. She understand. My own is give me detail. Let me know who you are at every point in time. You know the transition of your child when she's changing from one place to other. Always know per time. You can only guide. You can't stay there. She understand. But once you have imbibed good morals in that person, just divide it by 3. If it plays out that 1/4, 1/3 outside, she understand. You're still a good man because the society will play their own part.
Yeah, play their own part.
So you're still a good man, but make sure at every point in time. She understand.
Good. Okay, I get your answer now. There's no way you can quantify or give an exact age.
You can't.
Now, let's put a figure. Let's say she should be done with high school. Let's say 15, 16.
Okay.
Now she finished high school 16 and thinking of going into college. By 15, 16, she's already a senior.
Sure.
She already has people looking at her. She's already getting ready to become.
She has phone. She's
Yeah,
doing a lot of
things.
things.
Now, your daughter comes to meet you at age 15 and says, "Daddy, now see the scenario. Most times, our girls, most times, do not really date blacks.
Yeah, they want to go out white.
They go with white, and most times the white wants to go out with the black.
Sure.
She brings a Jake home.
Okay.
Jake comes home. You know they're wired differently.
What different?
She goes, "I'm coming to pick you up by." She said, "I've not told my dad. Don't want to come. I'll speak to your dad." Jake comes home, rings your bell. You open the door. You see Jake. Hello.
Hello, how you doing? Are you greeting
You
your other father? You say,
Yeah,
hi,
you shake your hand.
You should be curious that.
You call it that, right?
I say,
yes. How you doing, sir? Can I come in? Okay. You sit down. Corey is upstairs. She knows what is happening. She's waiting. You see, I'm here to take Corey out. Now that question, your wife is in the kitchen, or maybe she's watching something. She says, "I'm here to take Corey out." She comes out. What do you think is going to play out during that period?
Thank you for this program. Seriously. And I think this is going to educate, it has educated me now, presently, and I'm going to put it ahead. I will make sure that she's not surprised. She understands. I'll make sure my wife is not surprised, so that wherever she is, she should be expecting something like this. I'm telling you, I've never thought of it, but it's a take home for me from today. I will make sure I tell her that at any point in time, anybody's coming, she understand. Don't let it cut us on surprise. But the thing is that we should understand what the date is all about. He's coming in. Oh, welcome. Sit down. That's our country. Nigeria. She understand. What are you saying? She understand. But what if be that because if we have to. So she's not here. Hello. As a matter of fact, once he opens the door and I see this white, one, I'm not expecting him to prostrate. Secondly, I'm not even expecting him to call by Mr. So. He has to call by a real name. For me, so I'm used to it. So it comes in that way. That's, you should be able to look more into what we call manners and culture. She understand. You now get, there are some that for the fact that they prostrate and tell you they are not, she understand, they are not respectful. For first someone call you by name, that doesn't mean that person is lack of trust. But it comes in. For any reasonable guy that comes in to come and meet you and explain that this is what I want to explain it. For me in this country, she understand.
Mannered.
It's mannered. So if it comes in, how you doing? He should be my friend too. So when it tells us, we know what dates is all about. Dates in our country, not dangerous thing. But After my deku, you say you are going on your who. But dates here, we see the way they do it.
Oh
It's
God!
a good one.
He says it's a dangerous thing.
Dates in Nigeria, dates. They will collect the calendar from you. They will mark everything. But dates here, it can just be a hangout for a coffee. She understand? They have real names for everything.
Yeah.
If they are going to a club, they will tell you they
They're
are going
going
to a
to a
club.
club, yeah.
If they are going for a hangout, if they are going for a vacation,
They'll
you
go
should
for-
expect more.
yeah.
She understand? By the time of things they are putting on, you know that.
He's gone.
But if you are going on a date, somehow, we understand you want to hang out, have a coffee room somewhere, just something, sit down. So they will have more time to talk to each other, to know each other. That's a date. And he has come in. It's a date for me to meet him. So the thing is that my mom will always say that sort them in before you sort them out. If you don't bring them in, you won't know what they are capable of.
Yeah.
So when you wrap and talk together, blah, 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 okay, fine. And you see hello, Corey, your friend is here. I can call you. Want to go on this? Let her be free. Let her come. Okay, and before that, I'm expecting her to have told me or to have known that so person is coming, going on a date, and it's not going to be a surprise.
But if she can tell you she's going on a date, that means she has already told you she has a boyfriend or she has someone she's seeing, or so that's where I was.
Even me, I'm a wake up guy. She's like, you don't need to say too many things. I know where you dey go.
Yeah.
So by the time you tell me you are going on a date, so with your enemy, it's a prospect. And the thing is this: there is no parents. We are only being strong faced about it. We always love it in our heart that let our children do some certain things at a certain age. If your child is not working at age 1.5 or there, but you'll be troubled.
You'll be
now.
troubled, yeah.
She understand. So at age you'll be troubled. It's only in our country a 18-year-old girl. Okay, 21-year-old girl. You finish secondary school. You finish university.
No,
you have
you-
your masters.
you
and
don't
anything.
bring boy come
You don't
out.
bring a boy. They say hope there's nothing wrong with you. They will be still going from only 21. But at 35, you never finish university. You say you dey look for money. They say Oju wo lo n kan ẹ? Why are you in a hurry?
True.
Because you have never.
You've not
They
gotten
expect
the-
you not getting some things. So when you are,
I think when you said something about structure, there's a structure here.
Yes, a
So
structure
you know,
here.
even when this person is going this way, the structure will still make the person aligned
and
to.
line to it, all our age mates are in the same class at the same time. Back then in primary 3, you can see a 17-year-old boy in Nigeria. But here, when you are 5, you are with your peers.
You have to be with your peers.
So anything that have to be, even the guys that are misbehaving outside, you see that they are a group, their age bracket.
Their age bracket. You don't see 17 with 12.
So you can easily trace it and get it. So for me, if you are a friend to your daughter or to your son, she understand, and you understand the culture and everything that plays out, I think it should not be much of problem. You should be expecting more. You travel, come from your country, come here. You carry the law. Even if you put Bakere inside your bag, you no go enter because they're going to say, what are you? So you should know that you are here just facing it.
Now, let me now make let's say the last question. Can your kids get married to another race?
It's a very big question. Actually, I'm telling you. I deliberately, because I asked myself a whole lot of questions, but some questions that I rather don't want to deal with within myself, so that I won't be struggling over a fulfilled destiny. Many a times things that you are talking of now, back home it has played on cultures. You should understand that me, over my dead body will a Yoruba man go and marry Hausa.
Yeah.
And when you are dead, they marry.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. Sure, you understand? So much as is a silent prayer in my heart that my daughter, my son should get married to the people they will understand themselves, and they will not throw culture away. They will not forget and say, who are our parents? Or do not forget that people that the heritage lineage will continue the way we have back home. Because as I did here, I get things for Nigeria. Sure, you understand? Not only me get them back then say, my father did this, and I want to pass on to. And that is what makes the family. This is a very good treasure I don't want to lose. So regardless of any race she's bringing or he's bringing, I don't wish to draw. I'm coming to a question. So
You've answered actually.
I've answered.
You've answered. You answer systematically. You're answering systematically. You cannot. You don't want to say no. You don't want to say yes because
in my heart
in
of
your
heart,
heart of heart, your answer has been said with all you just said.
yeah, and I don't really want them to miss it. I don't want, because I know of so many people in our generation that even with their negligence, because their papa don't put small mouth. Now they're wrong. They said, that my papa, he has done me bad. Even if he did you good, are you going to do the right thing?
Yeah.
She understands. So that's why I don't want to put it. But I would just say that I am out. That's why in this country, something I've advised myself so much is that I won't work so much not to give attention to my children. Because without this country, you can't be a millionaire by pounds.
Yeah.
She understands. The structure is from hand to mouth. The structure is for you to look very okay. So I'll be a failed father if I don't take care of them. So regardless of the race, which I pray that they get the best of their papa. She understand. I don't want them to throw culture away. I don't want them to throw culture away. So some of us have been getting it right, even when they are marrying white. I don't say they may not be misbehaved later, but you see them wearing our outfits. They celebrate the marriage the way it should be. That shows that we are telling that this is the culture.
So
And some of us too that are complaining, we never went that route.
Yeah.
How we got married to these white guys or white girls? Now only we won't do them, know the reason.
Yeah.
It's not something that is selfish reason. So when you now face that thing, it now be a global problem. Why are they like this? Why are they like that? It's a global problem. But
So the goal is actually praying that they get someone they understand, they get someone they can communicate with, they get
someone we can always sit down and see ourselves as a large family.
Perfect. Thank you very much for today's show.
You're welcome very much.
Thank you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that episode and I hope you learned from it. Please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm still your host, E.N.E.C.Y, and this is Amebo FC. See you.